Now this is a long time coming. Now this is a set that I am super excited about, so expect a bunch of deck profiles in the near future. The first deck that we are going to build is Eagle Union. USA, USA, USA. Now the reason that I built this one is because, I don't know, New Jersey's like cool or strong or something. I don't fucking care. Either way, a Weiss Schwarz match is a weird time to be filled with national pride. Now this is a mono gate deck. It's an 8-gate deck, or 8 pants as some people like to call it, and a mono Eagle Union deck. Now this is fairly budget friendly except for a couple cards, but I will get to those when we get there. So let's get started. First off, we have Reno. She is on play from hand. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a character, this gains 2k power for the turn, and on play from hand, she's a drop salvage, and then you give a character 1k power. You run it for the drop salvage because this deck is reliant on resonance, so you could snag the card that you need if it's in the waiting room. Also, the deck speed is pretty fast, so you're going to have a waiting room in general. Also, on play, you know the top card of your deck, so you could play around with your triggers, which, again, super good at your level 3 with your New Jersey. And here we have a Spy, U96. She is a Climax swapper, and if you have 2 or more other characters, this card gains 1k power. So she's a 3k Climax swapper. She's also the only non-Eagle Union card in the deck, I promise. Kavala is our trigger fixer. When you trigger a gate, you could ditch a card. Doesn't have to be a Climax. Then you could top check up to 2 cards and you add a card. Then you can rest her, give a character 1k5 power. The trigger fixer is solid, super mandatory in this deck, in my opinion. You could grab whatever you want, and on top of that, you don't have to show your opponent, which is really nice. Anything is free game. Plus, the 1k5 power actually does come in handy every now and then. Here is Helena. She gives 500 power forward, and she's a pay 1 tap self mill 5 drawing brainstorm from the trial deck. She's just a standard trial deck brainstormer. She does come in handy quite a bit. Vincennes states that when your other character attacks, she gains 1k power, and when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if you have a gate climax in play, you can call a level 0 or lower character from your waiting room to the stage rested. This is a super solid card. You can call anything that you are missing in your back row, essentially. Oh, this card is so good. Here is Baton. This is where the New Jersey really comes in play. You could pay 1, resonate, reveal the 3/2 New Jersey, and you rest this card. Top check up to 3, add a character, then you ditch the rest. And then when you use the resonate, you could ditch a climax, draw 1. So she is a pseudo brainstormer and is super solid, especially if you're playing any deck that is running New Jersey. Now, you are almost guaranteed a character because you top check 3, add a character. I mean, you know, there are a couple times where I top checked a bunch of climaxes, but that's besides the point. Also, the resonate effect is for any card on board, so it doesn't have to be this card specific resonate effect. Now, Princeton states resonate New Jersey at the beginning of your climax phase. This gains 4k power for the turn, and when this card's battle opponent is reversed, you salvage a character, then you ditch a card. So she's at 5k5 at a level 0. There are a couple times where I used her effect at a level 1, and with a climax on board, yeah, you're still running over a bunch of level 1s. She's damn strong for no good reason. So salvage whatever you need to fix your hand. Here's the most expensive card in the deck, and it's only at $10. Cleveland is a Searching Ricky, level 1 or lower, where the cost is pay 1, choose a card from your waiting room, place it to the bottom of your clock. Then, at the start of your climax phase, you top check your deck. If that is a level 2 or higher, all of your characters gain 500 power. Now, this is a great card, not only because it's a Searching Ricky, but also because your New Jersey has experience 6 or higher. This is a great way to get level 3s into your clock without them having to be in your hand. Also, on top of that, you are going to know what you're going to trigger, so you can play around with your attacks because you saw what you're going to be working with. Solid card. Definitely need these in your deck to fully make it work. The last level 0 is Laffy from the trial decks. On play from hand, if you have another character, this card gains 2k power, and when this card is sent to the waiting room, you can ditch a card, top check up to 4, add a level 1 or higher card, and then you ditch the rest. So, like I mentioned, the deck speed is super high in this deck, and you are going to rush to grab the New Jerseys, so this works in helping grab them. Alright, time for the level 1s. Here's Meowficer. He is a cigarette. Deck speed. If you don't want to run the Meowficer, you can definitely run the Independence. Now, this card isn't in my deck because I do kind of like the way that the Meowficer runs. But if you don't really want the event in your deck, you could definitely just run the copies of the Independence. Side note, I accidentally ordered 12 of them when I only needed 2. Baltimore was $5 when I was writing the script, and now it's not. On play from hand, you ditch a card, top check your deck, then you salvage a character whose level is equal to or less than the card revealed. Then on attack, if you have 2 or more other characters, this card gains 1k power for the turn. Similar to the previous cards, you see what you're going to trigger, and you can play around with that information. Like seriously, knowing what your deck has is good information. Here is Ticonderoga. For the record, this card does have an errata, so just a heads up. At the beginning of your climax phase, you resonate the New Jersey. Then this card and another character gain 2k power for the turn, and her other effect is when this card attacks, all of your characters gain the following effect. If this card trigger checks a climax, you could ditch a climax, salvage a character. Good power boost and just another trigger fixer as well. And again, this does have an errata. Here is your level 1 combo. It is the Bremerton, which is this one right here. And this is the climax. We'll toss that over there on the back. So again, the level 1 combo is the Bremerton, which I actually visited once when I was on tour. Very nice little city. Either way, on play from hand, this card gains 2k power for the turn, and climax combo on attack if you have After School Ace, which is this one over here in the background, and you have 2 or more other characters, you Cigarette. And if the card's milled has a level 2 or higher card, this gains 1 soul. The climax is a 1k1 and a gate when triggered. Super solid card, and you are loaded up on your level 2 or higher card, so there is a solid chance that you're going to be hitting a level 3 or a level 2 for your 3 soul. Solid combo. Kind of standard, but the soul boost is super nice though. It can help push for damage. Level 2s, we have one. It's the Birmingham. She has a 3k backup and a memory counter. Now you could definitely play the level 3 killer if you play around with the ratios a bit. Alright, here we have the level 3s. We have Yorktown and Alan M. Sumner. Honestly, I never use these cards. What I really use them for is just to send them to my level zone. Like literally, that is all that I use them for. I hold them onto my hand, then I toss them into my clock, and then send them over to my level. And if they're in my waiting room, I play the Cleveland, and then I get it from the waiting room, toss it in my clock, and then toss it in my level. Yeah, that's all they're for. Like, you, like, essentially could just, like, cut these ones out and play, like, more tech, like the level 2 killers, the level 3 killers, the Independence, solid, actual, good playable cards. But I mainly run the Allen because of her underboob, and then I run the Yorktown because she has an eagle and it's just kind of cheesy, you know? All right, how about some cards I actually run? Here's the Essex. This is a 2 or less climax early play. On play, draw 2, ditch 2, blind stock, and at the start of your climax phase, you can resonate the New Jersey, and this gains 2k power until the end of your opponent's turn. No healing, but it does let you dig for other pieces as well as it gains power until the end of your opponent's turn, which is super solid. And finally, New Jersey. I know these aren't the SSPs. Please spare me. She is on play heal, experience 6 or more, global 1k power, and climax combo. On attack, if you have, you like this, right? Oh baby, you know that I do. And you have experience 6 or more, you could pay 1, burn equal to the amount of New Jerseys that you have in play. The climax is a 1k1 and a gate when triggered. This is a solid card. She's not the strongest in the world, but that's why you have some back row cards to help you out. At most, you would want about 2 New Jerseys in play to help you reach for the damage. You could get the burn 2, you swing for 3. You'd want to keep the burns low, so like I mentioned, you could reach for damage and close out the game. You have the cards that let you top check your deck so you know what you're going to be working with. Remember that attack order does matter, and at times, because this card is just when it attacks, you could side attack, get the burn, just for some more exact damage being pushed on your opponent. Now remember to take your time doing your plays because attack order matters. Standard combo, but hey, you know what? Standard is good at times. Let's take a peek at that climax. Woo! YouTube's gonna knock me out. And there we have it, the Eagle Union deck. Now there are some changes that you could do to better fit your playstyle, but this is like a pretty solid deck. Like I mentioned, you want to snag your New Jerseys quickly so you can, actually play the deck. Another thing is to get those level 3s into your clock quickly so you could breathe easily during your late game, as well as, actually play the deck. This deck is super fun and cheap as hell. I spent a total of $50 on this deck, and that was only because of the 4 Clevelands that I ended up cutting down to 3. You do need her to make this deck run, but you are also using her in a lot of different decks, so it's just a good investment overall. There are definitely some improvements to this deck. If you want to make this, arguably better, you're going to have to add some non-Eagle Union cards, which is what I'm going to do as soon as I'm done filming this video. I suggest you get your cards now. The prices for singles are super low and people are essentially giving the cards away. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Weiss Schwarz news and content. Let me know in the comments if you're running this deck or what other deck profile from Azur lane that you want to see. And thank you all to my channel members scrolling up over here. They essentially helped me build the deck and a couple other decks that are going to be down the pipeline. Thank you again. Catch you all in the next one. Peace.